Hey, what is up guys, welcome to Top Best HD. If you've made the choice to dive into the world of streaming TV service, and now you need a streaming media device. Streaming devices connect your TV or home theater to the internet, allowing you to stream content like video, music, movies and more. Let's take a closer look at what these Top Best devices do, and some of the top options to consider as you shop. The first is the Chromecast with Google TV. This time is not just a Chromecast, Google is gearing up to launch the Chromecast with Google TV that comes with a remote control. Yes, you can still throw your contents to the big screen, and it still does all of that what its predecessors can do. But this time instead of a bare-bones interface that requires you to play and control content using your smartphone or PC. The Chromecast with Google TV has evolved to offer a richer, full-featured streaming experience much more like a Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Apple TV. Here's the awesome thing, now that Google has added a dedicated TV interface that you control with the remote, called Google TV. It's an all-new user interface designed by Google and built on top of Android TV. You have instant access to most of the major streaming services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney+, HBO Max, YouTube, you name it. There's a Google Assistant button on the remote, so you can search by voice, and you can say things like watch Stranger Things on Netflix and you'll jump right to that content. As always, Google Assistant can control your smart home gadgets or update you on the weather. The new remote control is tactile, well thought out and looks and feels like a minimalistic. The buttons beneath the D-pad are well spaced out. There's a Google Assistant button, which you can press and hold for voice searches, plus shortcuts for YouTube and Netflix. There's also an input button for switching your TV over to the Chromecast, so you don't have to reach for another remote to do that. The Chromecast with Google TV takes a lot of design cues from recent Chromecast models, but it's got a softer oval shape with a matte finish. It comes in 3 colors: snow, sunrise and sky. There is the HDMI output on one end, while the other end has a USB-C port which is for its power. It can be powered by some TVs, otherwise you'll need to plug it into the wall with the provided adapter. Or you can plug anything like a Chromecast Ethernet adapter, which will cost you $20, or any generic USB-C docking station that has another USB-C port to pass the power. In terms of spec, the Chromecast with Google TV can stream content at resolutions up to 4K at 60 frames per second, and supports HDR, including HDR10, HDR10+, and Dolby Vision. Audio-wise, it supports Dolby Digital, Dolby Digital Plus, and Dolby Atmos. The Chromecast with Google TV has a few advantages over other streaming sticks. It has a couple of streaming services that is still missing from other devices lack. It has Google Assistant built in, which leverages the power of Google's search engine, and it's also a Chromecast device, which makes it easy to throw pretty much anything you want to your TV, and even better when it comes to the awesome Google TV UI and recommendations engine. The all-new Chromecast with Google TV at $50, it's affordable. The Chromecast with Google TV is a great pick. But at the end, whether you should buy it or not, the answer depends on which ecosystem you live in. The next one is the Roku Streaming Stick Plus. The Roku Streaming Stick Plus debuted in 2017, but it is still a pretty solid choice. This little stick is about the size of a pack of chewing gum. This little stick's got a ton going on for it, enough to say this is one of the best streaming device of the year. The Streaming Stick Plus is basically the more powerful one. It offers 4K video and improved Wi-Fi relative to its little brother, the Roku Streaming Stick. Roku has support for Apple's AirPlay system. AirPlay makes the Roku a strong play for those who are in Apple's ecosystem who don't want to spend $150 for an Apple TV 4K. Roku's remotes have gotten much better over the years, cheap-looking peripherals to slim. The remote is a point anywhere. You've got home, a D-pad, voice search, play, pause and other important buttons. You've also got 4 dedicated buttons for Netflix, Hulu, Sling TV and PlayStation View. The new features in the remote are the volume and power buttons, which can control the volume and power on your TV. Roku's platform is simple and user-friendly, and while it doesn't have some other minimalist interfaces have, it's basically idiot-proof. Roku's OS got an update with this new lineup, but you won't notice any big changes. including my feed, and the most important is the Roku channel. It's a hub for on-demand movies and TV shows and also includes live news feeds, a kids section, and even subscriptions to services like HBO. The Streaming Stick Plus designed to plug directly into a free HDMI port on one end, while the other end is for wireless receiver cable with an old-school mini USB connection then plugs into the supplied AC adapter, or a USB port on your TV, for power. In terms of spec, it supports 4K up to 2160p at 60 frames per second, HDR, HDR10 and DTS digital surround, Dolby Audio via HDMI pass-through for an audio. The Roku Streaming Stick Plus is affordable 4K HDR stick is excellent, coming in at $50, but it's currently on sale for $40 on Amazon, but the $40 newer Express 4K Plus is a better value, currently on sale for $30 on Amazon. With the Streaming Stick Plus, Roku has taken the best features of its previous products, refined them to be as user-friendly as possible, and put them all together in an inexpensive package. That may not sound difficult, but given that other 4K HDR devices are either short on features, like the Google Chromecast Ultra, or too expensive for their own good, like the Apple TV 4K, it's a surprisingly neat trick. The next one, here we have the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. As the first two are coming in at $50 price tag, they're joined by the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. It's one of the best streaming device you can grab for under $50. The third version of Amazon's popular streaming device. The biggest difference between this and the ones that came before it is that this one been upgraded to support 4K viewing. The Fire TV Stick 4K also comes with Amazon's Alexa built-in voice assistant. Apple and Google services are noticeably absent on Fire TV, but there's a huge range of content to select from the many apps on offer, including Amazon Prime Video, Netflix, and many more. The main menu is arranged in large rows of apps and media, both personally organized by you and suggested by Amazon. The second-generation remote is still a slim rectangular wand. It still has menu and playback controls, and now power and volume buttons join them. The Fire TV Stick 4K can directly control your TV's power and volume, letting you jump directly into watching streaming media without picking up a second remote, which is far more convenient. The Fire TV Stick 4K has Amazon's Alexa voice assistant. Just press the microphone button on the remote and speak into the mic at the top to talk to Alexa. You can ask Alexa for general information or to search for media to watch or listen to on the Fire TV Stick 4K. The Fire TV Stick 4K is slightly larger than the standard Fire TV Stick, with a male HDMI connector on one end and a micro USB port on one side. The stick itself is a little bit wider than a standard HDMI cable, so Amazon has included a male-to-female HDMI extender cable in case you have trouble fitting it in. In terms of spec, the Fire TV Stick 4K can stream up to 4K Ultra HD video, including HDR and HDR10+, as well as Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. Overall, the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K is very impressed. The interface is super responsive, quick to load, and it's set out in an intuitive way. It supports 4K with HDR10 and Dolby Vision. It features Alexa for voice control with support for a wide selection of smart home devices. Its new remote can control your TV's volume and power, and it can access a massive selection of streaming media both from Amazon's own libraries and most major third parties, all for just $50. The Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K is simply one of the best media hub you can find for under $50. The next one, the Apple TV 4K. This probably isn't for you, if you have the previous gen Apple TV 4K and happy with it. For everyone else, this is one of the best overall streaming box around, thanks to fantastic app support, great pictures quality and plenty of welcome extras. The Apple TV 4K is the latest high-end, high-performing and high-priced streaming box, while Google, Roku and Amazon are in a race to pricing for budget streaming sticks. Apple is heading in a different direction. Similar to the Nvidia TV and Nvidia TV Pro, this is a pricey device that focuses on quality and performance. It's even better if you're in the Apple ecosystem. The Apple TV runs on the latest version of the tvOS software, with the same tile-heavy interface that has been featured on Apple TVs for years. It will work with Apple services like Arcade, Apple TV Plus, Apple Music and Fitness Plus, and the software also supports all the major streaming services including Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, YouTube TV, and Sling TV. The word finally sums up the reaction of many longtime Apple TV fans when they first heard about the new Siri remote. The larger, thicker design is easier to handle and more difficult to lose, and the circular D-pad will prove more intuitive for a lot of the people who were perplexed by the trackpad on the old remote. The center button still lets you navigate in the same way by nudging your thumb around. The Siri key has been moved to the side, and there's a very small power button right at the top that'll turn a TV off or on. At the bottom, there's a lightning port for charging. The home screen is a big grid of apps, with a top portion highlighting certain content from supported apps. Click into the Apple TV app and things get a bit more interesting. This is Apple's Content Hub, pulling together shows from multiple streaming services, and an iTunes film and TV library. You've got a watch list, plus rows upon rows of recommended shows. Clicking on something to watch takes you right into it, even if it's from another app. The Apple TV 4K's actual box looks identical to its predecessor. There are no new ports along its sides, and the rear of the device still houses ports for power, HDMI out, and Ethernet. The significant upgrade of this new version is the processor. Apple has swapped the A10X chip of the old model for the A12 Bionic. With the A12 Bionic processor, apps open quickly and at times seem to be a bit faster compared to the older Apple TV 4K. In terms of formats, the Apple TV 4K, like its predecessor, supports HDR in the HDR10, HLG, and Dolby Vision formats. The only one missing is HDR10 Plus, and that still doesn't feel like much of a loss. Audio formats supported include MP3, AAC, Apple Lossless, FLAC, and WAV for stereo, and surround formats up to Dolby Atmos. Overall, we wouldn't recommend buying the new Apple TV 4K if you already own the outgoing model, at least not yet. The upgrades to picture and sound performance are marginal. The new remote, lovely though it is, doesn't transform the experience, and the faster processor only really makes its presence felt in slightly snappier navigation. But the outgoing Apple TV 4K was already the best video streamer you could buy, and the new version is the same but a bit better. That extra power could be leveraged more in the future too, perhaps with more advanced games and video performance. In the shorter term, the high frame rate 4K HDR feature will likely be used by more apps, theoretically making for smoother, better-looking video streams, particularly for sport. In short, if you're looking to buy the best video streamer currently available, the new Apple TV 4K is one of the best choice. The last one is the Nvidia Shield TV. The Nvidia Shield TV is a fully fledged Android TV experience that supports every platform you can imagine. Combines powerful streaming player and gaming device in one. Compared to the $50 Google, Roku and Fire TV, the $150 Nvidia Shield has always been a relatively niche proposition. When all you need is YouTube, Netflix and Disney Plus, it's overkill. Nonetheless, it remains a popular choice for geeks and gamers who want more extras and capabilities, including 4K HDR, now with Dolby Vision, built-in Google Assistant, and an array of gaming options that makes Apple Arcade seem like a one-trick pony, especially for PC gamers. The Shield TV loads and buffers 4K HDR content very fast, much faster than $50 competitors like the Roku Streaming Stick Plus or the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. What's more interesting is what the Shield TV does with all its extra power. Nvidia has programmed in a proprietary form of AI upscaling. Without going into too much detail about how it works, the Shield TV employs an algorithm to make 1080p pictures look more like 4K images, both in motion and when paused. As an Android TV, you'll be able to get just about every major channel, including Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, Sling TV, PlayStation Vue, Spotify, Pandora, Vudu, YouTube, and just about every channel-specific streaming app out there. The Shield is the most user-friendly Google streaming device. The interface now focuses on content in a similar, but less spammy way to the Fire TV interface. Users do have some control over the individual columns, as well as the first line of app shortcuts. One of the biggest changes from previous Shield TV models is the new version's remote control. And it's a complete redesign. The new remote control is a black triangular prism, with 2 rows of circular buttons down the front. You get circular direction controls with a confirm button in the middle, in addition to all the standard media controls. There's also a dedicated button for Netflix at the bottom. Rather than a small box or dongle shape, the Shield TV is an odd black cylinder, which rests horizontally somewhere below your TV. On one end, there's a power port and an Ethernet port. On the other there's a microSD card slot, an HDMI port and a hard reset button. It offers 4K compatibility with both Dolby Vision and HDR10, but no HDR10+. Audio formats supported Dolby Audio up to Dolby Atmos, DTS:X pass-through over HDMI. The new Nvidia Shield TV feature updated CPU, the Nvidia Tegra X1 Plus, 8GB of storage and 2GB of RAM. The Shield TV is a very capable streamer. It's compact and offers some unique image quality functions that set it apart from cheaper devices and the expensive options like the Apple TV 4K. Asking $150 for a streaming device is much more reasonable than asking $200 or more, and the new Shield TV still does just about everything it did before. Sure, it's an expensive media streamer at $150, and that's before adding a game controller, $50 less than the Nvidia Shield TV Pro. From its ambitious AI upscaling to its surprisingly solid game streaming, the Shield TV is definitely aiming for a gaming and streaming audience rather than the everyday binge watcher. But I think it provides just about everything those gamers and streamers would need at a much more approachable price than before. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for this video. Again, if you want to check out these items, I have it all listed for you in the description down below. And if you like this video, give us a big thumbs up, show your support, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed. See you in the next video.